Speaking on the topic citizens' rights and security concerns, Falana urges legal practitioners, courts, and civil society to shift socio-economic rights from mere constitutional aspiration to enforceable guarantees, warning that the national security cannot exist without citizens' welfare. The senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on Nigerians lawyers to take a frontline role combating the government's neglect and ensuring the enforcement of citizens' rights. Anyway, not just Falana, including DG Adeyanju and some other lawyers who has raised concern concerning citizens' rights, has called on the president of the NBA to ensure there are lawyers. Anyway, let me just allow you guys to watch this video and hear what Femi Falana said on
to
citizens'
visit
rights.
that dungeon. That's the law. Madam B, we're already doing it in Lagos. We now ensure through the chief judge that magistrates go to police stations at least once a month. When you visit, they have the right to grant bail, they have the right to other people should not be there or those who should be taken to court. That is what is being done. On Wawa, Wawa is not under the control of the military. It's under the control of the State Security Service, not DSS. When you say DSS, Department of the State, no. State Security Service. What we should do? Again, I have had to sue the Chief Judge of the Federal Court to nominate a judge in the Federal High Court to visit all these illegal detention centers. It is our duty to do it. Finally, sir, Section 63 of the Police Establishment Act provides that every police station in Nigeria shall have a lawyer, a police lawyer, who is a legal practitioner assigned to mount the human rights desk in every police station. If we do that, Mr. President of the Bar, we are going to have at least 5,000 jobs. So what we should do for the next budget, the president of the NBA with his executive must go to the National Assembly and get them to fund the recruitment of police officers who are lawyers to mount police stations. If you have that, the question of mobilization, what you are asked to do, if you have to pay money for bail, you must go to that lawyer and must to pay money for bail. That lawyer will report to the appropriate authorities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Faces existential challenges. Before 2009, we were reading about terrorism in storybooks. Just by way of introduction, NATO has a center of excellence called Defense Against Terrorism, based in Ankara, Turkey. That is a world-class training institution to counter terrorism globally. I was privileged to be among the 3 sets of first Africans to ever go to that school. At that time, we didn't have case of suicide bombing in Nigeria. And they were asking us, why are we there? And we told them terrorism is a global threat, and Nigeria is part of the Committee of Nations. And before the end of the year, we had suicide bombing at police headquarters. Just like 9/11 in the US, they were not prepared. We were also not prepared when terrorism struck in Nigeria. So, I'm giving you the background to what gave rise to Wawa. So, terrorists that were arrested in the Northeast were the people that were initially taken to Wawa. Because there was no holding facility to hold terrorists. Then when we have Terrorism Prevention Act with subsequent amendments, and more cases of terrorism were manifesting in the country, so every suspected case of terrorism was taken to Wawa. To cut a long story short, the Federal High Court, which Leonard Falana mentioned, has designated 8 judges that sit in Wawa. 8. There are 8 courtrooms in Wawa where terrorism cases are handled.
Thank you very much.
I want to appreciate you once again for this opportunity to speak. But one thing I want to begin with this time
You
around.
have just 2 minutes.
Sir?
2 minutes.
Thank you. Let us just be clear of the concept of national security, and it entails 3 major aspects: the government, the people, and of course the security agencies. The government comes up with the strategies for a safe and secure environment for the people. The people are the beneficiaries, and of course the security agencies, they are in charge of providing that environment for a safe and secured environment for socio-economic development to thrive. I want to state that threat has changed over time. Initially, it was interstate, and that was why we had the issue of protecting the territorial integrity of the country. Threat is now more of interstate, and most of the people that practice this are non-state actors who are not signatories to any of the treaties. They are the ones that even impinge on people's rights and making things very difficult. As much as possible, we, and this is one thing I want all of us to understand, the security agencies you are seeing, they are a subset of the larger society. We are drawn from societies to come and protect you. And I want you to please always give us that opportunity to do this to the best of our knowledge. We know that we have some issues. Some people could, let's say, overact in one way or the other. We try as much as possible, as transparent and accountable as much as possible in all that we do. I also want to state here that there are redress mechanisms. All those redress mechanisms should be exploited when you see instances whereby our personnel are going out of order. We are not saying that we are free or we are so solid in what we are doing, but please note that we do that. And we also have some toll-free lines which you can call to probably lay your complaints. This is just part of our transparency. Like in the Army, we have what they call 193. You are free to call 193 at any time and, of course, make your complaint. We also have the Civil Military Cooperation Department in most of the services. They are there for you to exploit, to please interact with us. Talking about the Wawa cantonment, I want to state here that we are just custodians, just like it was mentioned by the rep of the DGDSS. And I want to state again that they are held according to the best international practices. I also want to add that they have access to their lawyers. We don't just deny them that. They have access to lawyers who they can interact with at one time or the other. And I'm aware that some international human rights organizations, they visit some of those our facilities to assess what is going on there. And reports are always written. These reports are usually made public, and I expect us to please key into it. As much as possible, the armed forces of Nigeria, we embrace dialogue, we embrace consultation. You are free to dialogue with us. You are even partners with us in security. That is the way we see it. We expect you to be part of our information gathering, which you are supposed to process to become intelligence and to act with. I also want to beg and plead with everyone here that stop seeing the military as maybe not part of you. We are here to ensure your own safety. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you.
This audience. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, since I've been given 2 minutes, I have to do a racy answer to the questions raised. The first one was by Madam Adeze, where she talked about issues of mobilization in police stations, or maybe for investigations or whatever. I want to say that this issue of mobilization is unknown to the Nigerian police. If it's not in our statutory books, if you go to the police station and somebody asks you for mobilization Just go online, type CRU Nigerian Police, and lay your complaint there, and it will be addressed clinically. Then another issue was raised by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mojishola, where she talked about the discordant perceptions of how the Nigerian police views itself vis-a-vis how the public also perceives the Nigerian police.
I'm not going to say that.
Well,
His time is gone.
it's where we find ourselves in Nigeria today is that we have a police act that is a veritable document. A police act that we can stand tall and beat our chest. That the police act embraces the ethos of fundamental human rights of citizens. In our training institutions, these issues of fundamental human rights are being churned out to police officers on training, refresher courses, and the rest. Give us some time, and we know that the police has taken a paradigm shift in its discharge, especially under the mathematical 22nd Indigenous Inspector General Police, IGP Olukayode Egbetoku. Then, with regards of President Afam of the NBA, also talked about the notorious Tiger Base in Owerri. Well, I can give you that assurance. When I live here, the Commissioner of Police in charge of Imo State is my classmate, and I will cascade this observation to him that this is what was raised in the MBA program, and what does he know about it if it so exists. Now, the second point that the president of MBA raised was regards to the junior officers who were defaulted for going to court, and what I can say is these issues are being handled departmentally. Now, he pointed at me and said, you as a lawyer and as the AIG in charge of the legal department or directorate, what are you doing about it? What I can let you know is that God has found it apt that in this time of life, the Nigerian Police legal section has now metamorphosed into a directorate, which is being headed by an assistant inspector general of police who knows his onions. Now, give us a little time. About 250 lawyers who will be called to bar.
All right, so you can hear the ooze the moment the officer said that the police does not collect mobilization. Well, this is what we see. We say a different thing on social media, and then we have a different thing physically. There's no any time you go to a police stations that you not mobilize the police. I could remember one time that we went to one of the police stations to make complaint, and they needed to make an arrest. They requested for mobilizations. Before they can move or do anything, you must definitely mobilize them. You must put fuel in their vehicle. I don't know if government does not used to put fuel in their car. So some of all these things are the things that we find ourselves in this country that is not really palatable, but nobody is talking about it. Anyway, let us know your view. Share your opinion with us with this meeting and everything that has been going on. Let us know what you think. Thank you very much, and see you in the